channel, and in this video I'm going to be giving you guys a story time about dealing with someone stupid. This whole story took place in about a 4-day time span, and I'm also going to be doing my makeup while I tell you guys the story. So just to let you guys know, I don't have blemishes on my face. I just got chin filler and I got some nasal labial fold filler. So I have a bruise right here, and I have like some needle prick blood from the needle pricks or whatever. But it's okay because we're going to cover that up with makeup. So one day I'm just minding my business, chilling in bed, because all I do is lay in my room with the lights off and my blackout curtains down and watch TV. So I'm scrolling on my Instagram and I'm looking through my views of my story. So I saw this guy that was like okay looking, whatever. So then I went to his page, and red flag number one, he was super duper flashy. I just feel like when a guy is super duper flashy, like he's doing that to get like a bunch of girls, because girls all want money or girls want to have fun, and which we do, you know, I'm not gonna lie, I'm one of those girls, but like you doing too much. Like I would prefer my man to be low-key. Yeah, you can have like, you know, a little drip on here or there, but like I like guys that's like low-key, barely post, once in a blue. Yeah, boom, bam, no Instagram. Maybe you gotta catch them out at a restaurant, catch them at Target. Like, that's really my type. But when I get bored, I entertain these stupid little boys. So yeah, back to the story. I seen that he was like, you know, like flashy, whatever, but he was like okay looking, and I just moved to LA, so of course, like I don't talk to anybody here. So I'm like, all right, I watched his story, and he had posted something on his story I liked, so I did the little like thing. You know how now on Instagram you could just like somebody's story? So, boom. Later on in the day, I get a DM from him with the eyeballs. Red flag number two, I should have known he was a little boy, because what are you sending eyeballs for? Well, he sent the eyeballs, so now we're, you know, having a conversation, because I'm like, hey, like, you know, hi. And we're having a little conversation. I told him I was from Philadelphia, I live in LA. He said, oh, I live in LA, I'm from London, X, Y, and Z. So I'm like, okay, you know, London, like, I never dealt with anybody from London before. Like, okay, this is gonna be cool. I can't wait to hear this accent of his, like, all of that stuff. So, he said something in the messages, like, oh, do you have Snapchat? So I'm like, Snapchat? Snapchat is for sneaky guys, okay? If you have a Snapchat, you are sneaky, because you want the messages to keep disappearing. I mean, granted, you can save the messages on Snapchat, but you know, like if you're not saving them, then they're just going away, going away, going away. Justine Sky had put a tweet up that said, like, if your guy has a Snapchat, then he's definitely doing something like he's not supposed to be doing. I sent him that like screenshot of her tweet, and I said, Snapchat, I said, do you have a girlfriend or something? So he's like, LOL, and then he sends another message like, nah, LOL. I just like to talk on Snapchat or WhatsApp is better. So I'm like, okay, you know, I'm trying not to, like, when I talk to new guys, I try not to project so much on them until they show me who they really are. Like, I'm like, okay, like maybe they still use Snapchat in the UK, but like we don't really use that here anymore. So I'm just like, okay, whatever, I'll let him, you know, slide with that one. So I didn't give him my Snapchat. I ended up sending him my number, and we started talking from there. Same day, literally like midnight, like 11:30 at night, I get a FaceTime call from like a LA number. So I'm like, I didn't answer. I text back like, who's this? So then he said, it's such and such. So I'm gonna name him Alex. He was like, it's Alex. He texted me like, it's Alex. So I had to get up out of bed, you know, like take my scarf off, brush my hair, put some clothes on because I sleep naked, and FaceTime him back. I FaceTimed him back, and we had a conversation for like an hour and 30 minutes. Like, and after the first conversation, I'm just like, ooh, I kind of like him. Like, first of all, I've never talked to someone from London, so he had that accent like, yeah, hello. We're talking about a bunch of stuff like, oh, when did you move to LA? Actually, he lives in Calabasas. When did you move to the United States? Why did you move? What do you like to do for fun? when's your birthday? Like, do you have friends out here? Like, all of that good stuff. So I found out his birthday was like 6 days before mine. So I'm like, okay. Like, he said that he loves to travel. So, you know, like, he's like, what are you doing for your birthday? Like, you know, I love to travel. So I'm thinking, okay, like, I might have me a little boo. Maybe I can go on vacation, get a little gift. Like, you know, like, it can give something that it needs to give. We get off the phone after an hour and a half, and he's like, Janae, I'm gonna call you back, stay up. And I'm like, okay, cool. But I fell asleep, and he ended up calling me back in the morning. So the whole time we was on FaceTime or whatever, he was in the car. I don't know what he was doing, but he was in the car. I know he was talking to me, and the conversation was good. I didn't even think twice, like, this guy's in the car, he's probably a cheater. The next morning, he calls me, he FaceTimed me again. So, you know, I answer, hey, like, now I'm hyped, like, okay, got me a boo from London. Don't nobody over here know him. He's not ran through, or if he is ran through in the UK, I don't care because I don't know those people. Yeah, like, I was really hyped, like, off this one conversation because it was a good conversation. And I have not been on a birthday trip in so long. So I'm just like, okay, like, this is going good. First conversation. He's cute. Yeah, so he FaceTimes me again. Y'all, I'm just covering this bruise on my chin from the filler and these freaking, like, red pricks from the nasolabial fold filler. So he FaceTimes me again, and he's like, hey, like, you know, good morning. I'm like, yeah, I fell asleep last night, but he's in the car again. So I'm like, where are you going? I'm like, we got off the phone like 1 something in the morning, and it's like 10 o'clock, and bright and early you're back in the car. Why do you keep being in this car? So he's like, yeah, I'm up early. I usually wake up late, like 12 o'clock. Blasey. I'm in West Hollywood. I'm about to go to Beverly Hills. I got some running around to do today. I might be going to New York tonight. Like, all this stuff. So I'm like, okay, like, you know, we've had a little conversation, probably like 30, 45 minutes. And then we got off the phone. Now, mind you guys, I forgot to tell you, when we were talking, our first conversation, he had mentioned something like, yeah, American girls don't play. London girls are soft. So I'm just like, you know, like, oh, okay. I'm like, yeah, we don't play, you know, like, it's like basically soft as saying like you can get away with a lot with London girls. Now, I'm sure that that's not true for all girls in London. Like, I'm sure there's probably plenty of girls that's not with the bull crap for these guys. But yeah, he had like randomly said that. So I'm just like, okay, yeah, like, American girls, we don't play. Like, I mean, some of us, we do play. We do, like, let our guys slide. But most of us don't play. So, okay. So later happens, and I'm on the phone with my sister, chatting it up. I'm like, yeah, girl, you know, my London boo. I got a new boo from London. We had great conversation. He FaceTimed me. Like, you know, like, I'm just like, hype. Like, ooh, I finally moved on. Like, so yeah, I'm all like boasting to my sister. So then I get a call from a blocked number. So I thought that the first blocked number I didn't answer because it's this guy I used to deal with that keeps bothering me on Instagram. So I thought it was maybe him calling me. Cause I'm just like, he had literally just wrote me, and I'm like, oh, it's him again. I'm not answering. The last block call I answered was him, and he not getting on my line again. So I didn't answer. So then they called again for the second time. So I'm like, okay, let me just see if it's his voice. If I hear his voice, I'm going to hang up. So I answer. So this girl's like, hello, is this Janae? So I'm like, who's this? So she's like, this is Alex's girlfriend. So I'm just like, I was so irritated, I hung up. Like, I hung up because I was just like so shocked, and I'm just like, bro, like, this just went good. The last 24 hours really went well. And now I have this girlfriend calling my phone, which before I gave you my number, I asked you, did you have a girlfriend? So I hung up. So I clicked back over to my sister and she's like, why you hang up? And I'm like, I don't know why I hung up. I think I just got so mad. Like, I hung up because it was just a shock. Like, I was not expecting that. So the block number calls back again. So she like, answer the phone, answer the phone. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to answer. So I'm like, okay, let me answer and talk to this girl and see what she wants. Like, is she calling me to be rowdy, or is she calling me to see what her boyfriend is doing? So she calls me back and I answered. I'm like, yeah, hello, my bad for hanging up. I just wasn't expecting that. Like, what's up? So she's like, yeah, what's going on with you and Alex? Like, I seen you guys messages on Instagram. I seen that you asked him, did he have a girlfriend? Did he tell you that he had a girlfriend? So I'm just like, no. On the Instagram messages, like, you can see, even though like he didn't write everything in one paragraph, he wrote it like back to back to back. He said, nah, it's not like that. He doesn't have a girlfriend. Which is why I proceeded to give this guy my number, because I thought he didn't have a girlfriend. So she's like, so he didn't tell you he had a girlfriend, like, over the phone? I'm like, no. So then she's just asking me questions like, do you know where he was at last night? And I'm like, when we were on the phone, he was in the car. Remember, I thought, Now I'm thinking back, like, okay, while we was on the phone, he was in the car. And I'm like, yeah, he was on his way to the valley. He was with his friends. I think he had like a friend tailgate in the car with him. And he was on his way to the valley. So then she was just like, I'm so sorry. You know, today has just been a lot. I'm so sorry to bring this upon you. And I'm just like, girl, I understand. I'm sorry that you have to go through this. Because this is a mess and I don't even want to go through this. Then I told my sister what happened, and then the next morning I ended up telling my friends, like, y'all, let me tell y'all what happened. So my friend, like, I'm surprised you didn't curse him out. So then I'm just like, you know, my friends are bad influences, because I'm just like, you know what, I don't really care. I had just met this guy, like, I don't need to curse him out, like, whatever. And my sister's like, girl, go off on him. So I'm just like, okay, like, let me give him a taste of American girls, because stop playing with me. Like, why are you bringing this drama to my phone? So I text him and I'm like, good morning, cheater. Did I or did I not specifically ask you, did you have a girlfriend? So childish shit like this is not coming to my phone. I'm not a little girl. I don't involve myself in stupid drama, and it wasn't even 24 hours. And you're not even man enough to apologize, but thank you for letting me dodge the bullet early on. I don't know what the hell y'all got going on in London, but keep that shit in the UK. So I sent that message like 9 in the morning. Now I'm going about my day. I'm not thinking nothing about him. I'm not thinking nothing about her. Because mind you guys, I'm used to not talking to anyone. And whatever, like, we had literally just had 2 phone conversations. So I'm in the market, minding my business, shopping. And I get a phone call from a blocked number. I answer the phone, and it was like really loud in the background, but I heard someone say like, hello. So I'm like, who is this? So they're like, who is this? And then he hung up. So I'm like, okay. So then I get another phone call, and it's his number. I should have just blocked his number in the first place after I sent that message. I don't know why I didn't, but I really wasn't thinking about it. So he calls me and I'm like, was that you that just called me from this block number? Like, who's calling my, I'm sick of block numbers. Stop calling me from block number. So he's like, oh yeah, that was me. My phone be tripping. I just got a new phone. So I'm like, what? You just got a new phone? He's like, yeah, I just got a new phone and I saw your message. He like, I'm sorry about that. That's childish shit. That girl is not my girlfriend. She lives in London. She has my old phone. She has like my old phone from like 2 phones ago, and she called like 10 girls. He's like, I think she got into my iCloud. So I'm just like, okay. I'm like, all right, let me call you back when I get out the market, because like I need to figure out what's going on. Like, what is this about? So I call him back when I get out the market. I'm like, so this girl's not your girlfriend? He's like, no, she's not my girlfriend. she's not my girlfriend. She was never my girlfriend. Because I'm like, well, is she an ex-girlfriend? Like, that's acting crazy? Like, what is going on? Like, she's just some girl. So I'm just like, you know what? Whatever. I'm like, if she's not in America, I really don't care. And I was given, like, I can't even take you serious because it's just like, what are you doing? Like, what do you have going on? So, whatever. I just stopped asking him about it. I'm just like, oh, okay. Like, if you're saying that's not your girlfriend, you're saying she lives in London. I know that I can't get serious with you, but I could use you for fun times. Like, summer is coming up. You lit. Me and my girlfriend's about to, you know how that go. So, we talking on the phone or whatever, and he's like, oh, he didn't end up going to New York. He's going to go to New York tonight, though, or tomorrow morning. So I'm just like, oh, okay, well, like, are we ever gonna meet in person? Because what? You keep calling my phone, you got girls calling my phone, like, you need to show me something. So he's like, oh, we can go out tonight. I have my friend with me. Do you have a friend? And I'm like, yeah, like, send me what your friend look like. So his friend, his friend looked good too. His friend looked like him. So his friend was cute too. He was well off as well. So I'm like, perfect. I'm like, now, me and my girlfriend could use him to have fun this summer. I text my girlfriend, sent her his profile. I'm like, girl, you want to go on a double date tonight with these guys? X, Y, and Z. Like, all right, cool. We're going to go around like 8, 9 o'clock. So I'm like, okay. So I had got my nails done at like 5 o'clock. And I had called him like, are we still going somewhere? Because you didn't let me know yet. And then I'm just like, also, my friend can't even come because the time that we're trying to go, she actually has to take her mom somewhere. So he's like, he's saying it with his London accent. He's like, I got you. I'm going to send you something, whatever. So I'm like, okay, cool. So 7:59 comes. I don't have no location where we're going. He didn't say nothing to me. And I'm not saying nothing to you because you're the one who's all hyped. Like, yeah, we can go somewhere today. So, I didn't text him. I didn't hit him up like, where are we going? Cause I'm like, okay, I've done enough. You just had this girl call my phone. You need to be proving a little one too before, like, you need to be proving something. You ain't proving nothing. You proving to be a waste of my motherfucking ear. So I just blocked his number, okay? Now it's just like, leave me alone, London boy. Like, I don't want to deal with you anymore. You got too much going on, bro. And you're not even like, you're not applying no pressure fast enough for me. And yeah, like, you're just not giving. So back to me being lonely, minding my business, not caring anymore. I'm just like, he's blocked. I don't have time for him and his stupid games. I should have known. He's only 27. Guys in their 20s act like little kids. Even some guys in their 30s still act like little kids. They just thirsty and pressed. So next day passes. It's nighttime. It's like 11 o'clock at night. So I ordered me some DoorDash from Bossa Nova because I was hungry and I didn't feel like cooking. But while I'm waiting on my DoorDash, I fell asleep. So then I get a phone call that wakes me up. So it was from a blocked number. So I'm thinking, okay, it's my DoorDash. Like, yes, my food is here. So while I'm answering the DoorDash phone number, while I'm answering the blocked phone call, I'm like, groggily waking up. I fell asleep on the couch. I'm walking towards my front door because I'm thinking like, okay, they're here with my food. So I answer the phone and all I hear was, what is going on with you and Alex? I'm like, huh? Like, I could have swore this was my food. Like, what, girl? This is her again? So then I'm just like, hold on. I had to take a minute to really wake up and process, like, this girl's calling my phone again and this is not my food. So I'm like, hold on, what you say? So I'm just like, hold on, hello? Like, wait, what did you just say? She's like, what is going on with you and Alex? So I'm like, girl. I'm like, he called me and he apologized. And he said you weren't his girlfriend. I'm like, he said you weren't even his ex-girlfriend. And he said you live in London or something. So I continued to talk to him. I'm like, he was supposed to take me out on dinner, but he didn't never let me know where we're supposed to go. So I blocked his number last night. I'm like, we do not talk anymore. I blocked his number. Not only does he have you calling my phone, he can't even keep his word to take me out to dinner. Like, bye, I don't have time for that. So she's like, oh my God, why would he say that? She's like, I'm carrying his child right now. So I'm just sitting here on the phone like, oh my God, like, this is too much for me. She's like, I'm carrying his child right now in London. She's like, I live here with him. She's like, right now I'm staying at my family member's house, but I live here with him. So I'm just like, okay, like, good for y'all. I don't give a fuck. You can have your man. I blocked him. X, Y, and Z. Going on like, why would he say those things? So now I'm like, girl, he must be mentally slow or something to tell somebody that he never met before, that he met on the internet, a bunch of lies about what's going on with him, his personal life, and his relationship. I'm like, we never even saw each other in person, didn't go on a date, I don't even know him. I've only had 2 FaceTime conversations with him and then a phone conversation and some text. Like, I don't know what y'all got going on. I don't know if you're lying about being pregnant so you can scare me off, but it's okay. He already scared me off. I don't know what the hell y'all got going on, but leave me alone. Like, I literally met him like 4 days ago and all of this is coming to my phone. So she's like, yeah, he must be mentally slow to say those things. She's like, why would he say that? So I'm just like, sis, I'm just sitting here thinking about my DoorDash. I'm starving and I don't know why he would say that. So I'm like, what is your name? You keep calling me. You know my name. You know my goddamn number. You know my Instagram, clearly. And clearly he was right. You must have gotten his Instagram and his iCloud. I don't know what you're doing. So she's like, actually, I have to call you back. It's too many ears around right now. And then she just hung up. So I'm just like, bro. What? So now I have to call my sister because I have to tell her everything. So I call my sister. I'm like, girl, why did she call me again? Like, why did this girl call me again? So now we talked about it. I'm just like, I want her to call me back. I want her to call me back so I can say, do you need a ride to his house? Because for him to bring you to another country, you're pregnant. If you really are pregnant, if you're not lying, or even if you're not pregnant, even if you're just his girlfriend, and he moved you here from London, and he not even claiming you to a girl he never even met, and he just dog walking you. Like, he just dog walking you. Like, he is doing you so dirty. I would be at his house right now causing a frenzy, okay? Especially if I was pregnant. Like, what is wrong with you? So, she never called me back, and I never heard from him again. Like I said, I blocked his number, his Instagram, all of that. Like, I'm just like, you have too much drama. But for the girl, whatever, like, I know you guys are probably like, well, why do you keep answering, giving her information? From when she first called me, she was nothing but nice. And I just feel like, as women, like, we all go through things. Like, granted, I'm probably not going to be the girl who's calling another girl phone if I see clear proof in text messages that he's doing something that he's not supposed to be doing. But I understand, like, when you really love someone, like, your emotions can get the best of you. And you could probably do things that you probably would never do. So, never say never. That's the story about me giving somebody my number on Instagram in LA, child. Just trying to have a hot girl summer. And no, I would rather keep my peace and not talk to anybody because I really, really, really don't have the time for that. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this story time. And I hope y'all like my makeup.